Sabr daily.
May the peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you, dear brothers and sisters of this community. Before we begin, let us take a moment together. May Allah soothe the hearts that suffer in silence. May He heal what seems incurable, and may He open for each of you a door of understanding and inner peace. Amen. There are pains you've carried for so long that you've come to believe they're a part of you. That backache that returns every night. Those migraines that strike without warning. That fatigue that never leaves, even after a full night's sleep. You've seen doctors. You've had tests done. And each time the verdict is the same. Nothing abnormal. Then a question settles inside you. Silent but insistent. Am I going crazy? No. You're not going crazy. You're simply feeling what your heart has carried for far too long without ever having been allowed to express itself. Before going any further, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any messages that might one day arrive at the exact moment you need them. And now ask yourself a simple question and keep it with you until the end of this video. How long has it been since you truly listened to what your own body is trying to tell you? CC. Your body never lies. It is the faithful messenger of what your soul could not speak aloud. The anger you swallowed to preserve peace around you lodged itself in your shoulders, in the nape of your neck, in that tension that never releases. The sadness you refused to cry crept beneath your skin. Old wounds, those you thought were forgotten, settled in your gut, in your breath, in your fragile sleep. The Quran reminds us that in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. It is no coincidence that when your heart is distanced from this remembrance, it seeks another way to be heard, that of the suffering body. According to a hadith narrated by Al-Bukhari, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that the believer is like a body. When one limb suffers, the whole body feels fever and sleeplessness. Your entire body reacts because a part of you has remained wounded, unhealed, and unhealed. And as the prophetic tradition narrated by Muslim also teaches us, calling upon Allah in distress opens a door that nothing else can open. Perhaps what you call chronic fatigue is actually a soul waiting to be heard by you, even before anyone else. Ask yourself this question tonight. What have I never dared to say, neither to myself nor to Allah? How many years have you worn this smile that doesn't tell the whole story? Perhaps since childhood, you learned a silent rule. Never show your weakness. Be the one who stands tall so that others can lean on you. So you built, stone by stone, a suit of armor. And this armor served you well. It allowed you to move forward when everything seemed to be crumbling around you. But armor that you never take off eventually becomes a prison. It no longer protects you. It confines you. It prevents you from recognizing, even to yourself, that something is wrong. You're so used to saying it's fine that you've ended up believing it, while your body knows the truth. Every tear held back, every anger swallowed to avoid upsetting others, every disappointment hidden behind a polite smile. None of it disappears. Your body processes it for you, silently, until the tension becomes chronic, until your immune system itself turns against you. And here lies the cruel paradox. The more you try to appear strong to reassure those around you, the further you stray from who you truly are, and the more your body pays the price for the words you never dared to speak. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, does not ask His servants to bear burdens that would break them. It is said in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 286, Allah does not burden a soul with more than it can bear. This means you do not have to prove your strength by denying your own pain. According to an authentic hadith narrated by At-Tirmidhi, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, taught that true strength lies not in the ability to overcome others, but in self-control in times of anger and distress, which includes recognizing when one is suffering. And as another hadith narrated in Muslim reminds us, Allah loves it when His servants turn to Him with sincerity in their moments of vulnerability, rather than with a facade. Your armor may have protected you for a time, but ask yourself today, am I still wearing it to survive, or only to avoid disappointing others? There's a cycle many know but never dare to speak of. We accumulate, we hold on, we absorb day after day everything that hurts, everything that bothers, everything that weighs us down. And then one day, an insignificant detail, a word too many, a delay, a harmless remark, and everything explodes. Shouts erupt. Gestures become abrupt. Words outpace thoughts. It's not a lack of control. Understand that clearly. It's the excess of unresolved pain that finally overflows, because even the strongest vessel has a limit. The explosion, in the moment, almost feels like relief. Finally, something is released. Finally, the pressure is off. But this relief is an illusion. After the storm comes guilt. Regret takes hold, and the body pays the real price. Stress hormones flood the bloodstream. Blood pressure rises. The heart works harder than it should. These aren't just words. These are very real cardiovascular risks that repeated anger leaves behind. True strength resides neither in the stifling silence nor in the destructive explosion. It lies elsewhere, in a space that few learn to cultivate, that of naming what one feels before the pressure becomes unmanageable. The Quran teaches us, in Surah Al-Imran, verse 134, that the righteous are those who control their anger and forgive people. This verse does not say to never feel anger. It says to control it, not to let it govern your actions. According to a hadith narrated by Al-Bukhari, a man once asked the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, for advice, and he simply replied, "Do not become angry," and he repeated this advice several times. As also taught by a hadith narrated by Abu Dawood, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, advised someone who feels anger rising while standing to sit down, and if that is not enough, to lie down. A simple, almost physical gesture to interrupt the cycle before it explodes. So the next time you feel that familiar pressure rising inside you, ask yourself, what have I been holding back for too long? And who should I finally talk to about it before my body speaks for me? You pray more. You fast more often than necessary. You increase your donations, your invocations, your nights of devotion. And yet, something inside you remains empty. This strange feeling that despite all your efforts, your soul continues to cry out silently, as if none of these practices truly reaches the place where it hurts. It's not that your faith is insufficient. It's not that your efforts are in vain. It's simply that no spiritual practice, however sincere, can fill a void as long as the pain that created it has never been heard, acknowledged, named. You cannot pray for a wound to disappear without ever facing it. Many have grown up with a misconception. That feeling sadness, fear, or doubt is a sign of weak faith. That a true believer should never waver, should never cry, should never be afraid. But look at what tradition actually teaches. The prophet Yaqub, in Surah Yusuf, verse 86, said, "I only complain of my grief and sorrow to Allah." A prophet, a man chosen by Allah himself, and he wept for the loss of his son until his eyes went blind from grief. His sorrow never diminished his closeness to Allah. It was an integral part of it. According to a hadith narrated by Al-Bukhari, when the Prophet's son Ibrahim, peace and blessings be upon him, died, the Prophet himself wept. Faced with the astonishment of his companions, he replied that the eye sheds tears and the heart grieves, but one should only say what pleases Allah. As also reminded by a teaching transmitted by At-Tirmidhi, Allah is close to those whose hearts are broken. So no, feeling your pain doesn't distance you from Allah. It might even be the opposite. Perhaps your soul isn't asking for more prayers, but a different kind of prayer. A prayer where you finally stop pretending, where you lay before Allah not the image of the strong person you show others, but the raw truth of what you truly carry within you. Ask yourself tonight, am I praying to appear peaceful, or am I praying with what I truly feel? There's a shift that happens so slowly you don't even notice it. At first, that sudden stomach ache worried you. That sleepless night seemed abnormal. That panic attack frightened you. And then, with time, you got used to it. You learned to live with it, to cope, to carry on with your day as if nothing had happened. What terrified you yesterday has become your normal today. That's precisely where the real danger lies. Not in the pain itself, but in the fact that it becomes invisible to your own eyes. It doesn't disappear. It simply blends into the background of your life, until you can no longer even distinguish where normal fatigue ends and profound exhaustion begins. You mistake survival for balance. You mistake habit for healing. And yet, your body continues to send its signals, even when you've stopped listening to them. It never tires of speaking to you, even when you've grown tired of hearing it. It is reported in an authentic hadith, narrated by Al-Bukhari and Muslim, that your body has a right over you. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, clearly stated this to a companion who was neglecting his own rest due to excessive devotion. Your body has a right over you. This is not an insignificant statement. It is a reminder that taking care of oneself is not optional, but an obligation recognized within the prophetic tradition itself. According to another teaching narrated by Ibn Majah, moderation in all things is part of the wisdom that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, encouraged, including in the way one treats one's own body and mind. As Surah Al-A'raf, verse 31 reminds us, Allah urges believers not to indulge in excess, in a sense that includes both excessive devotion that forgets oneself and excessive neglect of one's own well-being. Listening to your body is therefore neither dramatizing nor a sign of weakness. It is an act of responsibility, almost an act of faith in what Allah has entrusted to you. So honestly, look at what in your life has become so routine that you don't even notice it anymore. That constant tension in your shoulders, that sleep that never truly rests, that anxiety that returns without warning. When did you stop being surprised by any of it? Look around you. How many people turn to you when they're hurting? How many times have you been the one who listens, who reassures, who finds the right words to soothe someone else's inner turmoil? You've become a refuge for many. But while you absorb everyone else's pain, who absorbs yours? This is the most often overlooked point. yet the one with the most far-reaching consequences. You give again. You give without counting the cost, until there's almost nothing left for you. You carry the burdens of others with such unwavering dedication that you've long since forgotten what it feels like to lay down your own. And one day, without warning, utter exhaustion sets in. Not because you're weak, but because no human being, however generous, was designed to carry the weight of the world indefinitely without ever being carried in turn. Understand this essential thing. The world doesn't need martyrs who burn themselves out in silence. It needs conscious, balanced people, capable of giving because they have first fulfilled themselves. Your mission, however noble, never justifies destroying yourself to accomplish it. The Quran teaches us, in Surah An-Nisa, verse 29, that it is forbidden to harm oneself, a principle that extends far beyond the physical body, encompassing the emotional exhaustion one inflicts upon oneself by neglecting others. According to a hadith narrated by Muslim, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that the strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, while clarifying that there is good in everyone. But this strength includes the ability to maintain one's own equilibrium, not to annihilate oneself. As a teaching transmitted by At-Tirmidhi also reminds us, the one who cares for their soul with wisdom honors what Allah has entrusted to them. What these 5 signs have revealed to you today is not a list of weaknesses to hide, but an invitation to finally turn inward with the same tenderness you offer others. Your body has spoken. Your soul has waited. It is time to listen to it, to heal it, and to remember that Allah chose you not to sacrifice you, but to live in peace with who you truly are. If this message touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel to continue this journey together. Leave a like if these words resonated with what you're going through, and share in the comments what you're feeling now. Or simply write Allahu Akbar so that others, by reading your message, will also feel less alone in what they're carrying. And before you go, one last video awaits you, right here on the screen. It might just be the continuation of what your soul is trying to understand today. Click on it, and let's continue this journey together.